It is time for another tarot game. This is the first time you're seeing me. My name is Lauren B. I'm the Untitled Tarot. I'm a psychic medium and I am an intuitive tutor. And I like to teach people the tarot by playing games. The most helpful tarot tip I could ever give you is that context is everything in a reading. A card means almost nothing on its own. It is the question, it is the surrounding cards that give it context. With that in mind, we are going to play one spread, 3 readings. So let's pull 3 cards. Let's say the Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. Now, if this were to be a career reading, how would you interpret this spread? The first thing that sticks out to me is we have the Pentacles on the end caps, we have this 9 of Wands in the middle, sort of coloring both of these cards. Let's say this was a career reading. How would you interpret these cards? We could say that you're actually doing really well at work, maybe so well that you're actually taking some of your work home with you. That could be adding extra stress and burden, not enough of a work-life separation. You may even be wondering or reminiscing about a time when you weren't as successful, but you also didn't have as many responsibilities. You didn't have as many people depending on you. Now, what if this was a love reading? How would you interpret these cards? The first thing that sticks out to me is there are no cups. Pretty dry for a love reading. Now, in terms of a love reading, we could say that you aren't really making a lot of room in your life for love right now, that you're very much focused on work and independence, but in that, perhaps it is a bit lonely and there is added stress from doing everything on your own all the time. And there could also be a bit of a message here about when you do try and date that maybe you end up overly mothering your partners. And so even when you are in a relationship, you end up taking on just as much stress and emotional burden as you were when you were single. Let's say this is a reading about your passions and your creative pursuits. How would you interpret these cards? Maybe this isn't the most exciting phase in your creative pursuits right now. Maybe it's much more about the practical mechanics of how things get done, when they get put out, the scheduling, the financing. Maybe that is adding some stress, making you a little bit defensive because it's not as fun as you feel like it should be. But it is an important part of the process, especially if you want to make a profit. So as we can see, the cards change when we give them different contexts. Try this out, practice this at home. If you would like to learn more about this and make some friends to play it with, I do run a tarot school over on my Patreon and I do live Zoom groups once a week. If you have any more questions, let me know down below. What else do you want to see? And I'll catch you next time. Happy tarot games.